Hi everyone, this is Marianne and welcome to my channel. In a previous video, I had a what's in my bag and I took out this bag organizer insert from that bag. I will link that video in the description box. And that's because I need to repair the organizer and also add one final compartment here. And by the way, I DIY'd this bag organizer insert myself. The video of the process will also be linked down below in case you're interested. The material I used is needlepoint canvas. So today I will be using the same tools, this nylon twine that is very sturdy. It is also the same twine that I used for binding notebooks, and of course a needle. Now the stitching on the seam came apart, not because the twine broke. I think it's because I failed to knot the end properly, because this is the only part of the stitching that came apart. So it's just a pretty straightforward restitching. I removed the older stitching, knotted the new thread into the existing stitching that remains, knotted it as best as I could, and then restitched. And at the end, I made a knot several times just to make sure that this won't come apart again, and then threaded the excess thread into the stitching before cutting off everything. This compartment is for the Midori Traveler's Notebook that I have been using as a wallet. I did not stitch that side of the compartment or partition to the outside wall, which is why the bag shaper or bag organizer insert looks kind of not symmetrical in shape, but that's just because of how I am using the bag. When I made this bag organizer insert, the shape was symmetrical. You will see that in the process video that I have linked down below. Next, I want to undo the stitching on the compartment for the Kindle, this one right here, because I have stitched the side in a way that does not line up with the stitching at the bottom. I hope you can see that. It's not that big of a difference and does not affect the functionality of this organizer, but since I am doing repairs now, I might as well deal with this. So I am taking the stitches out, and the goal is to stitch here along this line, which is the closest to the line that lines up with the stitching on the bottom, which I have already done, as you can see. I hope that made sense. The corner of that partition just has not been trained yet to go straight. It's still curving towards its past position, but that will resolve itself over time. Now the final partition that I want to add is for my eyeglass case, which usually carries the eyeglasses that I wear for driving. And of course, when I'm driving, this holds the eyeglasses that I wear for everything else. So this is just me trying to figure out where to make the cut on this needlepoint canvas panel. And then I also had to cut off one line at the top just to make that panel sit flush with everything else at the top. And then it's just a matter of stitching the panel into place, making sure to make a very secure knot at the start and then eventually at the end. Okay, now finally I have stitched the panel on the side wall of the organizer and at the bottom. The one last side I had to leave unstitched because it's so difficult to guide the stitches on there. I could not get my hand in there. But I'm sure if I leave that one last side unstitched, the eyeglass case will still stay in place. It will not slide down. But this one here, for the Midori Traveler's Notebook wallet, I just decided to stitch into place because, like I said, nothing is squished inwards or outwards on this side. Okay, so now all repairs are made, all additional panels and stitching are finished. The Midori wallet will go here, and the eyeglass case will go here. And for sure, this won't go anywhere, even with that third side unstitched. Now for the final part, which is the most fun part, adding yarn to all of the top edges. These are two yarns left over from an old crochet project, and I think they are a good color match to the bag. The lighter color is too light, and the darker color is too dark, so I will just use them both. I will be using this needle with the very large hole. The yarn on the edges actually have an additional function aside from being aesthetic. The edges of the needlepoint canvas can be a little sharp, and I have scratched my hands on them many times already over the course of time. And this is not the first bag organizer that I have made using needlepoint canvas. All of them that I have made before, I did finish off with a yarn on the top edges. I will link some of the videos down below. So actually, I have been using this bag organizer for months while it is not yet finished. And here is the finished bag organizer. And it did not even use up much of the yarn. Now I can put the bag insert organizer back into the bag and put everything, all of my stuff back where they should go. And it looks so pretty from this angle, and I will not get scratched anymore every time I reach for something in my bag. And that is part 9 of my bag switch drama. No longer so dramatic. So maybe, hopefully, this is the end of it. But with an unplanned life like mine, I never really know. And my pouch for medicines still fits into that one remaining free compartment. So anyway, that is my video for you today. I hope you enjoyed and got some ideas on how to make your own bag more functional. Thanks for watching. Bye!